Well, speaking of being released from jail, I'm going to release you from the chains where you have to answer my questions here and let you. You said you had an email. I'd like to hear what this email was.
Well, I do. I have one here because it was sent in. You know, we've got such a talented and intelligent listenership. The cult of Cornette, the people out there, they've got talents. They're intelligent. They're well-read, well-spoken. We were discussing here a week or so ago on one of the programs about the preponderance, the cornucopia, the plethora of gimmick matches and stipulation matches and no rules matches or stupid rules matches, all of the different shit in AEW, right? And just it's constant and never ending. And some of the listeners have taken us to heart and done some research. We read one email last week on the experience, and this looks at it, the predominance of all of these matches from a little bit different standpoint, some different statistics. It's from Cole from State College, Pennsylvania. See, our listeners are so smart, they live in towns with colleges not only in them, but in the name. That's how smart our people are. You might just find a guy with a Cornette face t-shirt on and have him do your taxes. It'll just like that. So Cole from State College says, hi, Jim and Brian. So at least, again, you're making the heading. Recently, you had mentioned wanting a complete list of matches in AEW that had some type of gimmick added on. As a fun project for myself and using the database at cagematch.net. Now, this was different from the SmackDownHotel.com. Apparently, there's a plethora of these sites as well with this information. But he says, I went through every AEW event and compiled a list of AEW matches with some type of hardcore stipulation attached to them. This list does not include the endless numbers of three-ways and four-ways and battle royals with no disqualifications, as even a man in prison wouldn't have the time to make a list that long. Matches with special rules that aren't inherently or normally no DQ, Iron Man, Tornado Tag, Handicap, Mixed Tag, etc. are also excluded. This list is complete as of the episode of Rampage that aired on April 29th, 2022. Here are some notable points. Hold on, I got to take a big swig for this one.
Oh.
There have been, and again, this is just in less than 3 years that this company has been in existence. There have been 73 matches with a special hardcore related stipulation. Of the 73, 38 have occurred on Dynamite, 23 on pay-per-view, 6 on Rampage, 6 on Dark. They do hardcore matches on Dark. 1 on a pay-per-view pre-show and 1 on the House Always Wins house show. Of the 134 episodes of Dynamite, 34 have featured a hardcore match of some kind, which is about 25%, not including three-ways and four-ways with no disqualification. So 25% as an average of the episodes of Dynamite have had some type of hardcore, no DQ, no rules, anything goes match. Of the 39 episodes of Rampage that just came along last August, 6 have featured a hardcore match, down to only 15%. The first hardcore stipulation match occurred on the pre-show for Fyter Fest 2019. Do you remember Michael knock it to fuck off and get off my television, and Alex Jebailey, some video game goof in the hardcore match?
That's right.
The most frequently used stipulations are the following: no disqualification, no count out 10 times, street fight 9 times, falls count anywhere, street fight 8 times, ladder match 7 times, lights out match 6 times. They have 7 ladder matches. The wrestlers who have appeared in the most garbage matches, you're never going to guess who the top 2 are. They're tied. Take a wild guess. Who in AEW have appeared in the most garbage matches?
Sammy Guevara.
You got one.
Moxley?
You got both. John Moxley and Sammy Guevara tied at 10 times each. Followed by Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes at 9 times. Darby Allin, I started to say Joey Nutella instead of Jelly Nutella. I apologize. Jelly Nutella and Matt Hardy 8 times. Jake Hager, Lance Archer, Twinkle Toes, the Hardley Boys, Ortiz and Santana at 7 times each, Pockets at 6. And there was a period during July of 2021 where in 4 weeks of Dynamite, there were 5 hardcore matches. July 7th, Cody versus QT Marshall in a strap match. Also July 7th, the Hardley Boys versus Kingston and Penthouse in a street fight. July 14th was Darby Allin and the other Page in a coffin match. July 21st was Archer and Moxley in a supposed Texas death match. And July 28th was the infamous Jericho versus the bank-addicted drug robber in a no-rules match. The longest gap between hardcore matches on Dynamite was 71 days. The longest they have gone is a little over 2 months on television between having garbage matches. In 2020, there were 13 hardcore matches on Dynamite. In 2021, there were 14. Up to this point in 2022, there have already been 9. And 2 episodes, January 26th this year and April 27th, had 2 matches on the same episode. January 26th had Sammy and Cody in the ladder match and Pockets and Cole in a lights-out match. And April 27th had Serena and Hikaru Shida in a street fight and Scorpio and Sammy in another ladder match. And also Cole attached a spreadsheet for our reference, but I don't know how to work those things. But they might as well just say just everything is no rules and means nothing, because almost everything is no rules and does mean nothing. This in less than 3 years, they have killed off and made meaningless and ordinary and routine and blasé almost every gimmick match that exists in the wrestling business. Very interesting reading.
I mean, we've seen a lot of gimmick matches in just the last few weeks.
You know what a gimmick match needs to be in AEW?
What's that?
1 fall, 60-minute time limit, first person to break the rules loses. That's it. That would be a gimmick match. They've never had another one.